the question. Just like if I write down a question in here and simplify that. If they said that 8 square root, now we have to find out or simplify that word. Can you write down 8? In this topic we are using indices. 8 can be written in the form of, like, I can write down in here 2 times 4. This still same, because 2 times 4 gives you 8 and the square root as well. So in the indices I can write down here, if any number multiply different number and they have a power, you can write down any power, 1 over 2 for example. It's mean each number will get that power. So now in here we got 2 times 4. It means they both have the square root 2 and the square root of 4. 2 square root as it is, and 4 square root, can we write down 4 in the form of 2 square? Because 4 can be written in the form of 2 times 2, give you a 4. So now we have a square and we have a square root. So square will cancel with the square root. We will get the value 2. Or you can write down just like, for example, if you A times B or B times A, both have the same meaning, you can write either way. So 2 times under root 2, or you can write down 2 under root 2. This is the answer in simplest form. So we will go to another one, another example. If I write on so square root of 200, you need to find out its simplest form. How to find out its simplest form? So in here, first you need to find out any number just like which makes a square. In here, can you divide these part 2 factors? Just like if 200 can be written in the form of 2 times 100, is it right? And the 100 can be written in the form of 10 times 10. So this part is giving us a square. So when they're giving us a square, so we can simplify that value. So first of all, we can write down in here 100 times 2. So 100 square root and 2 square root. If you write down multiplying sign or not, is same thing. So 100 means 10 square times 2, and square cancel with that, so we got 10 times under root 2. This is the answer. So now another part comes up, we have to rationalize. What is a rationalizing? Like if anything, any square root or surds in a denominator, we have to rationalize that denominator. They will ask you rationalize the denominator and simplify its possible form. If I write down in here, so rationalize the denominator. It's mean if the question comes like that, if I write down here, this is a question. They are asking rationalize the denominator. Denominator means anything in the denominator, and the denominator has a surds. We don't need any surds in the denominator. That's why we have to rationalize, because these questions came in an exam. So how to work out? Just like in a fraction, if you know some little bit about a fraction, so you have to apply which part? Equivalent fraction. If you need to get rid of square root 7, which operation you have to do, which number you have to multiply their values. Same thing, just like if I write down 7 square, what does it mean? 7 square means you can write down square root times square root, because 7 square root times 7 square root is giving you the same thing. Or I can say like that, either way is all have the same meanings. So it's mean if we have a square root 7, then we have to multiply with this same thing. If we are multiplying, then we have to divide. We have to apply equivalent fraction on there. So just like this is our question. So 1 over under root square root 7. Then you have to multiply same number and divide by the same number. Why? Because anything over 3 over 3, what does it mean? 1. If I say 947 over 947, same number divided by same number, what does it mean? 1. So 1, this is also a 1. 1 can multiply this value, give you the same value. That's why they won't affect on our question. So now we got these values. So we need to multiply 1 multiply with top value and the bottom multiply with the bottom. And you know square root 7 times square root 7 give you square root and square will cancel with square root, and we will get our values square root 7 over 7. So this is our answer. So we not having any surds or square root in the denominator, so we rationalize that value. So that's how we are finding rationalizing denominator and simplify. We rationalize and then simplify that one. We go another question. So let's see. They are saying it's the same thing, but we have to prove it. They are asking show that square root 8 we have to prove that these values equal to that value. So now we have two values. One value is called left hand side and this is called our right hand side. If we pick this one, right hand side, this is going to be very hard to find our left hand side. This is, we have a bigger part, then we have to select left hand side and then we have to prove that side equal to our right side. These kind of question comes in an exam. So we selecting left hand side, which is so now we need to, we can see here we have surds in the denominators. Now we need to rationalize that part first and then simplify. So which operation we will use to get our answer? There is a formula, like if we have this is one value, a plus b. If this bracket multiply a negative b, then we are getting the answer is a squared minus b squared. So if we have, you can see in here, we have positive value a plus b. If a represent under root 8 and b represent is 2 square root, then we have to multiply a minus b like under root a minus under root b 2. Then we get a squared minus b squared. When we get that value, we can get rid of these square roots. If we get rid of these square roots, then we can simplify and prove that one to the right hand side. So now we can multiply with which number now? The denominator. We see denominator. Denominator is under root a minus under root 2. Multiply and divide. This is one part, and you know that how to work out these one. So first multiply by first multiply by second multiply first, second multiply by second. Same as it is, we have to use to multiply. Same as it is, this multiply by with this, that becomes squared. This multiply by that, positive negative give you negative under root 8 under root 2. Negative positive give you minus under root 2 under root 8. Minus minus give you positive under root 2 squared. And the bottom part is 8 squared. Plus minus give you minus under root 2 squared. So now this square cancel with that, with this with that and that. It cancels. What's remaining? These are the both same thing. Minus under root a2 minus under root a2. So we get 2 times minus under root a2. That becomes 8 minus 2 under root 2 under root 8 plus 2 over this become 8 minus 2. Yeah. So now we are working out in here. So our values, you can see this part, if I write down in here, what do I mean? Both have the same powers. If they both have the same powers, the value inside will be multiply. So 2 times 8. And you know 2 times 8 is giving you 16 square root. And 16 can be written in the form of 4 squared. And the 4 squared cancel with that and we got 4. And this value becomes 8. So this little part becomes 8 now. If I write down, that's why I just did extra on for just only that value. I can write down on here. So 8 is positive, 2 is positive, that becomes 10. And that becomes minus 8. And the bottom part is become 6. 10 minus 8 give you 4 over 6. Or 10 minus 8 will say 2 over 6. So now 2 can multiply 3 to get 6. So 2 cancel with 1 and that becomes 3. So 1 over 3 is equal to right hand side. So now we are proving, because these questions comes in exams. They're asking find out the values of A and B. We have to find out the value, A value and B value, such that these values are given, the left hand side and the right hand side. We have to select left hand side, and then whatever answer comes, then we can compare that value with that and to find out the value of A and B. So now in here we are selecting left hand side from here. So there's 2 brackets, 3 add square root 5 6 minus square root 5. So now how to multiply these brackets? As you know that the first value will multiply with the first, and the first multiply with the second, and the second multiply first, and second multiply second. Now multiply 3 times 6. I'll just write down exactly values. 3 times 6, 3 positive, this is negative, so negative sign, 3 times square root 5. We come to second part. 6 times, both are positive, 6 positive, this positive, plus 6 times 5. Positive, negative give you negative. 5 square root 5 squared give you 5 whole squared. Now simplify, that becomes 18. Now in here you can see, if I write down 3 of a or x, I can write down here 3 of x negative plus 6 of x positive. Now you can see we are using in algebra in here, this is the like term. When we have a like term and we simplify that value, so both have opposite sign, the value will be like 3x, and the sign is bigger value is positive, which is 6. So x means under root 5. So we can write on, instead of that value, we can write on positive 3 under root 5. And then square cancel with the square root, and then value we get 5. In here 18, take away 5, we get 13 plus 3 of 5. So now we have that answer. But when we compare, we have to compare whatever answer comes there, we have to compare with the right hand side. Compare with right hand side. When you compare with the right hand side, it's mean right hand side is a plus b under root 5. So now this big part shows you a equal to 13 and b equal to 3. So a equal to 13, b equal to 3. This is our answer. So that's why how we are finding such that kind of questions and comparing with the right hand side to find out our actual answer. So there is another example I can write down in here. They are asking express. You can remove that one. Express 63 plus under root 28 in the form of a under root 7. So now in here same thing we are solving. So again we have to select that number, left hand side we have selected, and then we will prove the value of a. So 63 square root. First of all you need to factorize and find out exactly the number which will be common in both surds. So 63 can be written in the form of 9 times 7 give you 63 plus, it means we have a 9 and 7. In here we must have a 7 or 9 common in both. So 28 can be written in the form of 4 times 7, give you 28. So divide the square root all value because the inside are multiplying. So 9 times 7, we separate it. 4 times 7. So 9 can be written in the form of 3 squared square root times 7 plus 4 can be written in the form of square times under root 7. So square cancel, we got 3 under root 7 plus 2 under root 7. Now again, these are the like terms. If these are the like terms, 3, 7, 2, 7, how many total? 7, 5. And then last part, compare with a under root 7. So what is the value of a? A is equal to 5 because a 7. So a is equal to 5. This is the answer. I hope you like the video.